Week 5 of the high school football season, nearly the halfway point. Unbelievable. Super 10, a lot of changes this week. First off, Bolles. Yeah, they're 1-3, but they had a big win over Trinity Christian last week. That was an exceptional win for Bolles. Their 3 losses this season are to teams that are combined 11-0. All one-possession losses, so a big win for the Bulldogs. They are back in the rankings. They rank 4th in max preps in area standings, so don't let those 3 losses fool you. They got a big one on Friday against Oakleaf. University Christian coming off an off week. They're 2-1. And how about this road trip? They go to Key West on Friday. That's a 996-mile round trip, vacation or business trip. Great one for UC on Friday night to get that road experience. Range, they're down a couple spots. They lost last week to Daytona Beach Mainland, 26-0, their first shutout loss in almost 3 years. They got to bounce back against Trinity Catholic on Friday night at home. Big one for Ponte Vedra last week. Ben Burke, 5 touchdown passes in the first 3 quarters of that game. They beat Middleburg 35-0. Great one for the Sharks. They go to Menendez on Friday night in a St. Johns County clash there. So the Sharks getting things done. And Oakleaf, they are our big riser of the week. They go from 10 all the way to 6, knocking on that top 5 door. They beat Fleming Island 24-14 last week. Big win for Christopher Foy, and I was kind of concerned on Oakleaf because they had not played since week 1. No rust in that one. They have Bolles on Friday night. That's going to be maybe the game of the week in terms of the competition level there. Trinity Christian, they fall a couple spots. Tough loss to Bolles on Friday, 26-21. That loss, 5 turnovers and a shanked punt that went 6 yards and led to a touchdown. Not a good performance from Trinity in the elements last Friday night, but a chance to bounce back big when they go to Columbia, winless Columbia in Lake City on Friday night. So Trinity falls a couple spots. Bradford, what remains to be said about Bradford? Defense is just rock solid. 34-7 over Gainesville Eastside last week. Torn Brazil, 2 pick-sixes in that game. They've allowed 14 points all season long. Defense has state championship potential written all over it. They are off this week. Making the turn into our top two teams here, 2 and 3, St. Augustine and Bartram Trail. And this is a big one because these 2 teams meet on Friday night. Bartram coming off a bye week. St. Augustine didn't have Lachlan Hewlett on Friday night, and they still beat Menendez 44-6. They won 19 straight against Bartram, but they have lost the last 5, so that game just goes either way. It runs in streaks. Who will get that on Friday night? Number 1, no surprise here in this one because Mandarin, they had a Principals Cup game last week against Atlantic Coast. They handled Atlantic Coast. A lot of elements on Friday with rain and sloppy fields and stuff. 30-0. We've seen all about Mandarin's offense, but man, last week their defense was on point. Hand the Stingrays their first loss of the year. And they have a tough one on Friday against Creekside. I know Creekside has not started the year. They're exceptionally well. They're 1-3, but they have lost to some very good teams. Mandarin coach Toby Bullock getting things done. Their 2nd week in a row at the top spot. And now is a great time to remind you that our Football Friday game of the week, it is an exceptional one. The Bartram Trail Bears, they won 5 in a row over the St. Augustine Yellow Jackets. Will that change this year? A 2-3 battle in our Football Friday game of the week. That is on Friday at 7 p.m. That's streaming on News4JAX Plus and News4JAX.com. We'll have pregame coverage starting in that one in the 5 o'clock hour on Friday night. Should be an exceptional game and a series that is known, no shortage of those games.